Hi team, another scenario for you. So this is where we have a Mr. Joshua Black. Again, he is in a residential facility and while supporting him with personal care, so that's showering him, you notice there's a rash. It's all over his arms, it's all over his torso, and you ask him, when did this appear? How has this happened? That sort of thing. And he just casually mentions to you, don't worry about it. He explains that a new member of staff, and he gives her a name, Mary, let's call her Mary, didn't know that he was allergic to ibuprofen, and she gave him ibuprofen for his arthritis. He said the young lady looked really worried. She was really sorry. But, he said, don't worry about it. It's happened before. And that's as much as you heard. So you're thinking to yourself a few things. So, of course, step one, you need to report that as an incident. It's not clear, in even the example I've given you, whether or not Mary should have been handing out medication, but it will be very clear in your job description and how you're orientated or inducted into an organisation or a facility who's in charge of medication. Team, I would say a decent 60% of the time it's not going to be you. I know there are times when we might remind our client to take their medication. We call that a med prompt, and maybe we have to help open things up, so we might be assisting them, but it's a different unit of the course to do. And in a facility, it is most likely, not all the time, but most likely going to be an RN, so a registered nurse, an EN, which is an enrolled nurse, or sometimes referred to as an EEN, which is an endorsed enrolled nurse. So a lot of the time it won't necessarily be something that we would have been involved in. So because of that, it's an incident and it needs to be reported. It would need to be reported verbally. It would need to be documented on an incident report. So again, you'll need to understand how do you do that within the organisation you're working for. The next thing, of course, is that you do need to document what you are seeing. Remember, what you report is what you see, what you smell, what you touch, and what you hear. And they're the prompts, they're the things we've got to remember. That's how we work out what we're reporting. I've seen the rash, I've asked a question, I've heard an answer, therefore that'll be what I report.